And with that, we say a pleasant good afternoon. You are watching a presentation of the Stag Sports Network. It is the second consecutive home game for Fairfield field hockey to start off this 2026 season after an outstanding performance despite a narrow one-goal loss to Syracuse, the ninth-ranked team in the country, on Friday. It is Holy Cross who makes the trip down from Worcester, who open up their season on Friday evening with an overtime victory against Stonehill. Hey everybody, JJ Duke here with you. Thanks for spending your Sunday here with us from University Field. And yeah, that Fairfield group, despite the loss to a very talented Syracuse squad, arguably matched, if not at times played better than their ACC opponent on the day. And in talking with head coach Laura Gebhardt, she was really happy with the attitude that the players took from the performance. Yes, the result, you wanted it, but they knew that they played a really solid match, and they're trying to build on that as we go through the early part of non-conference season. On the opposite side for Holy Cross, and you take a look at our player to watch for the Crusaders, that is the freshman out of Edinburgh, Scotland, Mariana McLean, who had an assist in the late equalizer against Stonehill on Friday. This is a player who has over 50 appearances at the youth level for Scotland and is someone that was on the NFHCA Division I watch list as a first-year player. It was a offensive onslaught for the Crusaders against Stonehill, but only cracking through in the final few seconds and then getting the goal from the stroke of Saskia Williams in overtime. Meanwhile, a player to watch for Fairfield is last year's NEC Rookie of the Year in Kaylin Fogelson, an 8-goal performance in her first campaign with the Stags. The Norwalk, Connecticut native did generate a lot of offense over the course of Friday's match against Syracuse. Really tricky to try and defend, especially when she's able to drive forward down the left, and someone that defenses will have to keep an eye on all throughout the course of her sophomore season. We are ready to go with the opening pushback. It will be Holy Cross to get us underway. They're in the white jerseys with the purple letters, numbers, and trim. Fairfield in the dark jerseys with the red numbers going from left to right. We're underway. We'll give you the starters for both of these teams as Mia McCluskey is in goal for Holy Cross, and immediately put under duress by Fairfield's outstanding pressing from Camille Perloff, and Fairfield win it in a high area. Chance here for Connie Hoffman into the circle. Has two with her. The shot gets knocked down, defended well by Abby Kent, who wears number 20. And we'll give you Fairfield's lineup because they're in the ascendancy first. Paige Jackson is in goal. It's an unchanged team that Coach Gebhardt sends out from Friday's performance. Riley Lalou wears 5. Maggie Dowd, an outstanding first appearance for her this season. At the outside back position wearing number 9. Camille Perloff wears 10. Kylie Corcoran wears 13. She'll be in the midfield today, though. Will do a job at defense at times. Catherine Fitzgerald wears 14. Contalina Ness 16. Connie Huffman 17. We already mentioned Fogelson 18. Alice Peferi wears 21. And Cortland Schumacher wears 24. Again, it's an unchanged starting lineup from Friday. A whistle and a foul on Fairfield, so it'll be a free hit for Holy Cross. The rest of their starters looks like this. Ava Huntley wears 1, Saskia Williams 3, McGuire Sturgis, another one of those NFHCA Division I watch list players, wears number 6, a player who had 9 goals and 5 assists for Holy Cross last year. You mentioned Mariana McLean, the freshman, wears number 8. Maeve Kiernan in the midfield wears 9. Carolina Di Gregorio wears 14. 18 in the back is Rachel Egan. Abby Kent 20. The older of the two McLean sisters, Marissa, wears 21, and Jocelyn Monty wears 23. Fairfield on a baseline attack with Fogelson as she goes into the circle, and it's going to be a corner to come. A really bright start from Fairfield, pretty much from the opening pushback where the press was in full mode, and they were able to force some issues, and now they're able to get baseline, get the opening whistle. Fairfield had a couple of corners on Friday, forced one save, and then the second we're not able to really get anything going. That save came from Jesse Iceland. But a Fairfield team that had 129 penalty corners picked up last year, a conversion rate of about 15%. They had 29 go in. It's Alice Peferi to insert with the castles of Perlov and Ness. Cortland Schumacher is the that's Catherine Fitzgerald, the close option. And Fogelson will drive to the outside post. Corcoran with a drive. It gets knocked down by the fly, and it's coming out. Great work by Williams, the senior from Norwich, England, to step into that and draw the whistle. And Fairfield do not have a drag flick. Holy Cross does. So we'll keep an eye on that for their corners. They had 17 of them in that game against Stonehill on Friday. It was very much Route 1 in terms of heavy, consistent offense for the Crusaders. Stonehill picked up a goal early in the third quarter, and then it was just an onslaught of chance after chance after chance. Stonehill kept weathering those chances away. Eventually one broke through off of a bit of a broken corner. Isabel Morton, who made 19 saves for Stonehill, couldn't come up with the 20th as Martina Di Gregorio was able to bat in an elevated ball on the goal line with under 40 seconds to play. Fairfield now will look to play in transition here with the junior and Camille Perloff. Perloff very active in the offense on Friday against Syracuse. Will win it back at the 23 for her team. She was one of two Fairfield players that played or participated in the Senior Nexus event during the summer. She and Caroline Brickley, the grad transfer from St. Joseph's, were involved. That is a dangerous ball, and it'll be back over to Holy Cross. And speaking with Coach Gebhardt briefly over the summer about that, it was just a really exciting opportunity for those players to showcase their abilities. That is a competition that can give you a pathway into the youth and senior national teams for the U.S. Both those players taking that experience and building that into this season. Hoffman gets tripped up. Not fully cleared away by McCloskey. It's still being battled for, and it's jousted away. It was Fogelson that was there or thereabouts, as was Perloff. Knocked behind by the defense, and it will stay with Fairfield at the 23. Fairfield already showing some good signs with their baseline attack on this right side. And look at Catherine Fitzgerald counter-pressing even after losing the ball. And Holy Cross, they do get past halfway, but Maeve Kiernan's pass goes out. That is something that has been a staple and a trademark for Fairfield field hockey over the past season plus under Coach Gebhardt. Lose the ball, get it right back, and it's numbers of players that are surrounding. A whistle, and Mariana McLean will restart, but not a great pass as Riley Lelou stepping in and winning it in an advanced area. A foul on McLean. Hoffman now into the circle, deflected, but again, it was dangerous and will come back out. Good idea, though, from Hoffman. Grad student now from Dusseldorf, Germany. Preseason All-CAA honorable mention. One of a few Fairfield players that garnered preseason accolades, and now a new journey for them after winning back-to-back NEC tournament titles now in the CAA. And a great stop from Alice Peferi. Pretty much took that right off the stick of the Holy Cross attacker. Now Fogelson trying to round Rachel Egan. Fogelson into the circle. Looked like she was tripped ever so slightly, but Egan able to guide it away safely. Well, Holy Cross have not really found that rhythm in their passing game in the first 5+ minutes. Continuous pressure in all areas from Fairfield. Catalina Ness now dropping in just a little bit deeply. Midfielder of the year in the NEC from last season. As composed as you like in possession. Schumacher gets bumped. That is Izzy McElgin. The first year from North Vancouver. Cortland into the circle. Strong tackle. Really well won there by McGuire Sturgis. Started last year like a house on fire, scoring in 3 consecutive games and 4 out of the first 5. A nice turn by Marissa McLean into the circle. Knocked down. There is a whistle, but it'll be a foul on Holy Cross and back over to Fairfield. The first sign of attack from the visitors for a Holy Cross team that did struggle at times to score last season. They're a 500 team at home up in Worcester, but just 1-5 away from home They had a really solid non-conference schedule going through NEC teams like Merrimack and Stonehill. They had a number of close losses, but once they got into Patriot League play, that's where things kind of went off the rails. A program that finished last year at 6-10, 2-4 in conference play. As Perloff, that's well judged into the path of Fogelson. Good tracking back though by Williams. But here's Emily Carney into a good position. Amanda Dressel, the goal scorer for Fairfield on Friday, not able to get it into the circle. Now a chance for the visitors to break is it's played through the number 15, a junior from Shrewsbury, Mass. It's Judy Rodolakis. And Rodolakis able to win it back, taking it right off the stick of Carney. Here is Maggie Dowd, someone that Fairfield's head coach Laura Gebhardt was really high on in preseason performances, really came in with the correct attitude and application and bringing the correct energy into that preseason camp. Fairfield are without the services of Nora Hellemans for at least a couple more weeks, coming back from surgery over the spring. But, Dowd was noticeable in her performance on Friday. And Dowd is also someone that can play a couple of different positions, and it doesn't matter what sport. If you're versatile, you're going to find your way onto a field as long as you do your job, even sometimes if it just has to be simple. And for Dowd on Friday, it was smart passing and good tackling out of the back. That ball tackled right in front of the Holy Cross bench, and McElgin will go back home with Williams. Good pressing, though, by Amanda Dressel, and that fires up the Fairfield bench below us. Great read by Elise Wanchizin. That was a dangerous aerial nonetheless, as Lalou was able to step to it. Fairfield rolling in a couple of fresh players for their first appearance of this afternoon's match. Nice ball into the circle. Dressel's shot knocked down. Will go back the other way. Dangerous shot from close proximity, and Holy Cross just happy to hammer it down the field and reset. As more changes will come as Dowd exits, entering Hadley Hoffsmith. Bryn Andrus on for Perlov. Also Fogelson, who started but came off, back on in a moment. Caroline Brickley also entered the fray just a couple of seconds ago. Great read by Egan as that pass was lifted in the direction of Dressel. Now a chance for a left side attack through Kendall Brady. He's gotten baseline, trying to earn the game's first corner for Holy Cross. Obstruction just outside the circle, and our umpire will ask for that ball to be placed at the right spot. As Brady, the junior from Vestal, New York, 6 goals from 1 season ago. And a second-team All-Patriot League selection, and now a corner to come. So an opportunity now for the Crusaders, and a team that generated a whopping 17 corners against Stonehill on Friday. Only getting one off of what was a continuation from a bit of a broken sequence. What I will say, and this is not just a guess, this is just pure what you have, that Fairfield pretty much saw every routine that Holy Cross can bring in the early season, just with the pure volume. So Egan and Sturgis will stand over. It is to Sturgis, who shoots and puts it wide. McGuire got decent contact behind it, and Paige Jackson, who had a really strong first appearance of the season on Friday with 5 saves against the Orange. I wasn't sure if she had that far post covered. But one chance, one shot attempt, but nothing further from the Crusaders, and Fairfield trying to play through the lines. Alexa Birch with the interception with 4 minutes to go here in this opening quarter. And now here's Ava Huntley, the junior from Pennsylvania. Well intercepted, though, by Dowd. Again, you talk about smart, simple, and safe playing. Dowd didn't like any passing options, so just attack into space. It allows the rest of the team to reset. Ness looking for an aerial, closed down well. Now the whistle comes. This is off the foot of Carolina Di Gregorio. It was her sister Martina who scored that late equalizer on Friday. And Carolina only just played the one game last year. That was against Merrimack. Meanwhile, her sister Martina saw regular action, albeit mostly coming as a reserve. There's heavy changes for both teams from that last stoppage. Be interesting to see, with this being the first weekend of play in the sport, both teams playing 2 matches in 3 days, what are the fitness levels going to be like? Of course, you have that extra energy from match day 1 of the season, so you're going to expend, and it's natural to do so, a little bit of extra energy. Now, how do you react to it? It's a fairly warm day, not terrible by any stretch. That's why we're seeing some heavy substitution patterns, as Andrus on the baseline, able to get past a couple of defenders, still going on. Tackled away only as far as Brickley. It's into the circle that looked like it hit a body. Stays on, though, for Lelou. We come out. That's interesting there, because it looked like that ball popped up and caught, I believe, Egan, if that's her. Yeah, Egan. And it must have gotten the stick. Nonetheless, no one made a shout for it. Usually the first sign, if no player is raising their arms for a corner, then you probably just go with it. A good ball ahead from Wanchizin. As Clark, that's Alexa Clark finding Fogelson. Kalen still goes on with 3 defending her, and it's another corner for Fairfield. After their first corner of this quarter didn't amount to much, a chance here to strike right before the end of the period. Now, with a number of changed personnel from their previous corner attempt, going to be curious to see what type of routine they'll be signaled in from the coaches. Stonehill on Friday only earned 1 corner. But already the second that Holy Cross have had to defend here in this match, as it'll be Pifari to insert. Castles of Ness and Hoffsmith. Wanchizin is the short option. And Fogelson at this near side will drive to the post. It's sent towards Riley Lelou. Now with Brickley, passes it across, stopped well. That was aimed towards Pifari as the insert. Hands are going up, asking for a corner. It was an advantage, and we'll do it again. Yeah, that was one trying to reverse it back to the insert and see if Alice can lift it. Basically see that run from Northwestern every week with Ashley Sessa running that as the insert. Goes short instead to Wanchizin, who sweeps it on frame, stopped and knocked wide by McCluskey. That's a good stop from Mia. 1 minute left to play. That is her first of the afternoon. And after the only shot that she saw go on frame went in on Friday, but a player who last year had as many as 14 saves in a match that was against Maine and garnered second-team All-Patriot League accolades. And when you're facing the volume of shots that she did 1 season ago and having a goals against at 2.5, you're doing a lot of things right. And a save percentage of McCloskey of 75. McLean, Mariana will circle back now with Williams. Holy Cross will just take it into the corner. Just trying to see off the last few seconds. And that's exactly what they will do. So after 1 quarter of action here from University Field, it's scoreless between Fairfield and Holy Cross. We've got much more coming. Back in a moment. You're watching Fairfield Field Hockey on the Stag Sports Network.
AI is everywhere. Organizations use it to make smarter, data-driven decisions. At Fairfield University's Dolan School of Business, AI is woven into every part of the curriculum, guided by expert faculty, hands-on learning, and a focus on ethical impact. Dolan students see AI not as something to fear, but as a tool to unlock human potential. Bridge technical knowledge with business insight to thrive in an AI-driven world, today and for the greater good of tomorrow. Unlock your potential with Dolan AI.
And move your right foot. There you go.
This young girl's breakthrough, just being a kid,
You got this.
was made possible
Nice.
by another breakthrough. The discovery of a game-changing drug that's delaying the onset of type 1 diabetes for years to come. That's the pioneering research of Yale School of Medicine delivered through Yale New Haven Health. Together, we're powering breakthroughs with the greatest of care.
Fairfield University's Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies is ranked among the top nursing schools in the nation, blending the depth of a Jesuit education with cutting-edge simulation technology. Challenging coursework, combined with clinical experience, offers students the benefit of practical application in real-world healthcare settings. Fairfield Egan prepares nurses and healthcare workers as highly skilled, compassionate, and ethical leaders, well-equipped to make a positive difference in their patients' lives. Lead with purpose at Fairfield Egan.
A few moments away from the start of quarter number 2 here from Fairfield, Connecticut. There's the second-year head coach Laura Gebhardt, part of the 2025 NEC Coaching Staff of the Year. And the takeaways from that game on Friday, just really proud what she said of her group and how the performance, the standards were there, but also the way that they adapted as the match went on and implemented some of their changes. It's interesting when I was speaking with her, especially about the change of conferences. The big theme for this year's team is don't look back. We're not focused on, or we are focused, I should say, on the style that we play, our game plan, and bringing our uniqueness of hockey to the CAA. Not really worrying so much of what we'll see across the board. Yes, a number of the games at Fairfield will play in non-conference are teams that are similar stylistically to what they'll see in the league, but it's very much about ourselves at the moment and where they can go from here. And again, the performance that they put to the table on Friday, playing right with and sometimes better than a top 10 team in the country and an ACC team, an NCAA tournament team from a year ago, you're going to feel pretty good about what the 2026 version of Fairfield will look like. As we're underway here in quarter number 2, a great aerial down the line, just batted into safety by Dowd. Now, on the flip side for Holy Cross, Kim Cosenza in her first season, the head coach of 11 years at the Division III level of head coaching experience, most recently at WPI with 60 wins there and getting them to the NCAA tournament. As an at-large and winning a game in the D3 NCAA tournament last year. Someone that was, first off, very high on crediting what the staff has done and kind of turning this program to where they want it to be. Yes, very much early doors of where this program hopes to go over the course of this season and the seasons beyond. But the big thing to her team after quarter 3 into quarter 4, and this is what she was speaking to in her post-game comments after Stonehill, was just trying to find that calm within their offensive systems. They were generating those chances, just trying not rush those opportunities. And she credited her team with the resiliency that they showed and just found a way to grind out a result. Because often you can feel that if you have so much of the ball offensively, and this is again against Stonehill on Friday, and not come away with the result, you think about that really all season long. So the fact that they were able to dig in and find a way speaks to where this group can go. What a recovery by Fogelson. We highlighted her at the top of the show, and she has already been a handful for this Holy Cross defensive unit. But now the visitors can break into the channel for Mariana McLean and able to round Dowd. The Scottish Youth International stopped at the edge of the circle and well recovered by Peferi, but once again it was Maggie Dowd that did the large part of that defensive work and slowing the run. Again, this is a player in Dowd who just appeared in 5 games, really in kind of a condensed area of the season in late September, early October. And now all of a sudden pressed into starting duties, and I'm not quite sure a position that, not to say all familiar with, but very little experience at the college level, and she has looked the part. Good idea from Carney, and that ball ended up finding Perloff, or at least Perloff found it on the sideline. Dangerous pass to Fogelson, who nearly got there. Holy Cross did have some issues in that first quarter of trying to break through this Fairfield press, but it's been more so them playing the ball into areas that probably they shouldn't, trying to make those square passes across the back line and dribbling into places that they don't want to. That's exactly what this Fairfield press want to force out of their teams, or out of their opponents. Make them make the mistake. A good idea from Hoffman, intended for Perloff, intercepted by Izzy McElgin. Schumacher taking that aerial, nearly clipping 2 of her own teammates there, coming off for changes. Jocelyn Monty across the way. Able to link up. Oh, another dangerous ball. Good work by Lalou. And a player that's perfectly happy to put in those hard miles, be almost kind of like a pest. Someone that you can't shrug off because she's always going to be buzzing around looking for loose chances and making the most of it. Sturgis. And had a look off of a corner last quarter. But Holy Cross really haven't had too many balls into the circle since, as Hoffman has gotten loose. Better tackled by Sturgis. As Hoffman and Carney were close by. Couldn't find any separation. A great stick work by Fitzgerald. Catherine, who's really grown since she has come on campus and full of confidence right now. Schumacher squares that ball across, still scrambled around. McCloskey rolling, and it's cleared off the line, but a corner will come. Well, it wasn't quite a full barrel roll from Mia McCloskey, but it was very acrobatic the way that she was able to move around just on her goal line, and eventually help came. But another baseline attack, or nearabouts I should say, nonetheless from Cortland Schumacher. Putting the ball into the area that was dangerous, and now Fairfield forced a save from McCloskey in the last penalty corner. See what type of routine they'll go with here. Hoffman, the umpire is going to hold play for a second, and coming over to the table. Well, our umpire has asked that there are too many fans that are actually, they're not in play, but they're not in the area that they're supposed to be. They have to be on that kind of AstroTurf area off the field. So there's going to be a request to have those people removed, which is why we have a little bit of a pause in play. There we go. Just get on the artificial surface. And that mostly is for safety, because if you get a ball that's rocketed towards you and you get hit, it don't feel good. I'll say that much. So there we go. Fans are off the pitch. Peferi to insert. It's a short option to Corcoran. Hoffman dances past 2 and scores. right off the training ground with that set piece, and Connie Hoffman opens up her account for 2026. Yeah, a little deception from Kylie Corcoran, but that was given to Connie, and a nice little fist pump as well. That is goal number 24 of her career, and now just 2 goals away from a tied for 8th in Fairfield program history. Yeah, Corcoran with the deception, dropping it off, and it ended up being a very comfortable strike just because of the fact that you had Holy Cross with defenders all out of position and the goalie trying to spot through at least 2 different defenders. And that goal coming in the 21st minute. And for all the sustained offense that Fairfield have had in this first half, in terms of their possession, it has been something that has been coming. And also their first corner scored in 6 on the season. Now for these 2 teams, they have met fairly frequently over the years. The first meeting dates all the way back to 1983, but Fairfield have a very heavy advantage in that category, especially at home, winning 13 of the 20 meetings. The last time that these 2 teams met a couple of years ago, Fairfield won 5-0 at home. As the Stags are still battling, they're asking for a corner, but in fact, it's going to be on Fairfield for the whistle. That was Grace Camera, her first minutes of the season. A junior from Manhasset, New York. And we're starting to see a few more players from Fairfield who are players in reserve last season, learning and developing, but now having the opportunity to showcase their abilities. Carney being one who didn't see the field at all last season. Camera appeared in a pair of games. Of course, Maggie Dowd, who we've mentioned, only played in 5 matches last season. So if you're patient, you work hard, you're going to get your opportunities to perform, as Carney and Camera trying to get there. Hoffman recovers the clearance. Baseline attacks, send a cross and a corner, as that came off of the defender and Abby Kent. Well, in this sport where a lot of offense is generated off of corners, Fairfield don't have a drag flick per se, but when you have the chance to dive deep into the playbook, as Fairfield did in their last corner, so many times they got goals last year off of Pilar Mengati's sweep at the edge of the circle. But now what you've done with that little drop-off pass to Hoffman in the last corner is you're going to have the defense thinking, well, where's this ball going to go next? As now Corcoran is gone as the short option. Lelou and Hoffman are at the circle with Brickley and Schumacher as the castles. Fitzgerald is now going to be the player that will attack the post. It's short to Corcoran. Plays it towards goal, deflected in. I think that straight off of Corcoran. Defender might have put that off of her stick into the net. They all went to Kylie. And she's the one that's sprinting over, and all the players celebrating. Nonetheless, that's back-to-back goals off corners. And for Fairfield, you love to see that execution. Again, getting the set pieces, that one a little bit more basic. You had Fitzgerald and Lelou close by. We'll get the confirmation during halftime. We'll check back the video to see who scored it, but we'll give the goal to Kylie right now. And for her, that would be the first of the season, 4th of her career. Holy Cross immediately on the attack. Circle entry, but nothing coming. Izzy McElgin goes back now with Saskia Williams. That goal coming in the 23rd minute. Oh, it's a great reverse across the face of goal, but not having the stick down in the area was Martina Di Gregorio. That was absolutely lasered across the face. And now Marissa McLean into the circle, but a foot on her sister Mariana. It's a dangerous touch. Peferi nearly had it taken off of her in the circle, but Fairfield able to play out. And so quick strikes off of corners for the Stags. 2 minutes and 12 seconds in between the two tallies. Again, immediately on the attack is Juan Chizin. That's really good stick work from her. And skill and speed there, too. Alexa Clark now with Perloff. Has Lulu in the area. Perloff just didn't get the connection she wanted on that baseline attack. Nonetheless, it'll be coming back with 5 minutes to go. Also, as we come out of halftime, we'll take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. We'll check in on what's happening around the rest of the CAA on this Sunday afternoon. Fogelson, look out. That was deflected well over the bar. Fairfield now a 8-1 shot advantage here in this first half. Dowd trying to pass it into the circle, intercepted, but look at the backtracking again from Elise Wanchizin. Just continuing to put in the miles. And for a Holy Cross team 40 hours or so ago, when they had all of the ball, all of the offense going their way, they have really not gotten into a rhythm just with simple passing, and it's not because of the ability to do so. It's just what Fairfield have done. Even Fogelson, look, tracking all the way back to midfield to win the possession back for her team. It's just been an onslaught here as Ness tries to get through two different defenders. A whistle, and Kata still goes on. There should be a ooh, it looked like that was off the foot, and you could probably hear the coaches down below for Fairfield asking for a referral, but the players maybe closer by thinking that was off stick. That looked like it caught a piece of a defender on the way through. Nonetheless, reset with under 3.5 to go. Lelou, great turn. Riley still goes on, battling through three defenders, and again, Holy Cross just have to play it to safety. That's a great area to find Ness. Didn't know that option was available for Hoffsmith. Great little pickup from the former Penn State product. Oh, it's a dangerous pass that Fogelson takes it away, and she's through on goal. Gives it up to Perloff, who makes it 3. Once again, Holy Cross just putting the ball into a dangerous place. Kaylin Fogelson, who we highlighted at the top of the show, how tricky she is with the ball on her stick, but how dangerous she can be in her defensive abilities, takes it away, and just a simple and unselfish pass across to Camille Perloff, who gets her first of the season. And I spoke of this, and I'll speak of it again. I spoke on Friday saying that Fairfield were good for that early advantage. Well, they're good for the 3-goal advantage that they've put up here in this first quarter. So the goals from Huffman, Corcoran, and Perloff, even though it's listed the other way around in the live stats. Great recovery by Catherine Fitzgerald. And again, this comes back how everybody bought into the belief that the performance was there. Yes, no result on Friday, but you can build off of what you started. You don't ever want to take your eye off of anything for a moment, but you have to think that the attitude was there, and it's just now about the end product on this Sunday, and Fairfield have done that over the first 28.5 minutes. It'll be a free hit for Holy Cross. You bet part of it was hoping for Kim Cosenza and her staff that her team can get in at halftime just at that 2-goal margin, reset, go again, but chasing 3 is really tricky. There might be another chase for 4 as Hoffman into the circle. Connie turning, sending it across. McCluskey has to knock it behind. Well, this umpire here says it was last off Fairfield, so someone must have tapped it after the keeper made the save. Well, it's not an area you want to be handling the ball, and once again, Fairfield jump on it, and it's a corner. Fell to the stick of Bryn Andrus, and she was just happy to latch onto it. This is going to be the 6th corner of the match, 8th of the season. Fairfield with 2 conversions already today. And Connie Hoffman dribbling through a couple of defenders and scoring on the first of the 2. I have it, the second goal is Corcoran, but we'll look at it at halftime. Fairfield hit for their 3rd off of this APC unit. It will be Peferi once again to insert. I believe that's Alexa Clark as one of the 2 ready for it. Comes to Hoffman, though. She'll strike and puts it wide. And off the body of the defender, Abby Kent. So another corner to come. Connie trying to sneak that inside the near post. And there's going to be a referral, a team referral coming here from Holy Cross. They're going to look to see if that ball was off of the stick, I believe, of the defender and not the body. So for the first time this season at University Field, we will have a referral coming, as our 2 umpires will take the jog upstairs to the press box. And as I often joke about, and I'll say this here before the umpires come up, this is the part of the show where kind of have to talk about anything else but the play, because you don't want to sway or influence the official, because they're literally going to be standing about 10 feet off to my right. So with that being said, look into that Holy Cross group right now. They know that they have to find a way to lock in over these next 30 seconds, no matter what the situation comes of it. And if you can reset, they've shown at times the ability to attack in those wide areas. So if they can get a couple of early chances in quarter number 3, figure if they can get to within 2 with about 10 to go in the 4th, then, well, if it is still at the 3 margin, but if you can get it to within 2 with 10 minutes to go, Life will think that it will be an obtainable mark. So again, currently right now we are at a pause of play. This is a team referral for Holy Cross. A shot that was originally ruled off the body of the defender on the post. Original call on the field was a corner, which would be now the 7th of the match for Fairfield. Fairfield, they have to feel very good about their performance over the game's first 29.5 minutes. 2 goals off corners, 1 off of a giveaway from Holy Cross inside their own 16. And you see the coaches for the Crusaders. Kim Cosenza, again, a longtime head coach at the Division III level, bringing in Chris Ponthier, Emily Solicito, as well as Nate O'Leary, Team that will kick off Patriot League action on the 19th of September away at Lehigh. And if nothing else, while this referral continues to go on, diving deep into the notes of what they're going to be speaking at during halftime. And already some tactical adjustments coming from the Fairfield coaches as they continue to gaze up here and look, well, what's going to be the result? To which we cannot make an indication yet. It's been a long time for those players hanging out in the goal mouth. Still kind of going over what they've seen in the last couple of corners from Fairfield and how to defend. Again, it's just been a different variety of chances, sweeps into the area, players dancing through defenders, a few waves. They got to keep themselves entertained as well. So again, we continue with this. It's a Holy Cross team referral. In the original call with a corner was awarded a deflection off of a player. So the call is going to stay as is on the field. Holy Cross will not be losing their referral, though, because it's inconclusive in terms of video evidence. So we'll have a corner. Well, Holy Cross, you get one referral over the course of a match, but you need clear and conclusive video to support a decision or support a change in decision. Appreciate to our umpire crew. They're going over a couple of different looks, but just, again, they could never fully they couldn't find enough to overturn the call without at least some reason of doubt. So here we go. It's going to be another corner to come here. Leche Peferi once again will insert. Hoffman plays ahead towards Ness. Knocked down. 4 jab at it. And another corner comes after all that. So 12 seconds come off the clock. Fairfield continue to press and ask more questions out of this Holy Cross team. So again, Peferi to insert. Swept towards Cage, and it goes wide of the mark, and that will do it for this first half. So Fairfield, after being kept off the board in the first half, couple of goals off corners, one from Hoffman, one from Corcoran, and then Camille Perloff tapping it home. A great retrieval from Kalen Fogelson on a press. And after 30 minutes of action here from University Field, it's Fairfield 3, Holy Cross 0. We'll step aside, be back in a few minutes here on the Stag Sports Network.
In an unpredictable world where every moment matters, imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing your loved ones, lifestyle, and business are all protected. At Meridian Risk Management, we offer tailored solutions, whether for personal, commercial, or benefits insurance. We are here to safeguard what you value most, so you can embrace every adventure ahead. Meridian Risk Management, because your legacy deserves protection.
Fairfield University's Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies is ranked among the top nursing schools in the nation, blending the depth of a Jesuit education with cutting-edge simulation technology. Challenging coursework, combined with clinical experience, offers students the benefit of practical application in real-world healthcare settings. Fairfield Egan prepares nurses and healthcare workers as highly skilled, compassionate, and ethical leaders, well-equipped to make a positive difference in their patients' lives. Lead with purpose at Fairfield Egan.
AI is everywhere. Organizations use it to make smarter, data-driven decisions. At Fairfield University's Dolan School of Business, AI is woven into every part of the curriculum, guided by expert faculty, hands-on learning, and a focus on ethical impact. Dolan students see AI not as something to fear, but as a tool to unlock human potential, bridge technical knowledge with business insight to thrive in an AI-driven world, today and for the greater good of tomorrow. Unlock your potential with Dolan AI.
We're sorry that we only serve crispy, crunchy, juicy chicken. We're sorry that we only use the best ingredients. We're sorry that other chicken sandwiches just don't do it anymore. We're sorry that it's so good.
The best chicken sandwich I've ever had.
Right foot. There you go.
This young girl's breakthrough, just being a
You
kid,
got this.
was made possible
Nice.
by another breakthrough. The discovery of a game-changing drug that's delaying the onset of type 1 diabetes for years to come. That's the pioneering research of Yale School of Medicine delivered through Yale New Haven Health. Together, we're powering breakthroughs with the greatest of care.
Fairfield University's Egan School of Nursing and Health Studies is ranked among the top nursing schools in the nation, blending the depth of a Jesuit education with cutting-edge simulation technology. Challenging coursework, combined with clinical experience, offers students the benefit of practical application in real-world healthcare settings. Fairfield Egan prepares nurses and healthcare workers as highly skilled, compassionate, and ethical leaders, well-equipped to make a positive difference in their patients' lives. Lead with purpose at Fairfield Egan.
AI is everywhere. Organizations use it to make smarter, data-driven decisions. At Fairfield University's Dolan School of Business, AI is woven into every part of the curriculum, guided by expert faculty, hands-on learning, and a focus on ethical impact. Dolan students see AI not as something to fear, but as a tool to unlock human potential. Bridge technical knowledge with business insight to thrive in an AI-driven world, today and for the greater good of tomorrow. Unlock your potential with Dolan AI.
We're sorry that we only serve crispy, crunchy, juicy chicken. We're sorry that we only use the best ingredients. We're sorry that other chicken sandwiches just don't do it anymore. We're sorry that it's so good.
The best chicken sandwich I've ever had.
And move your right foot. There you go.
This young girl's breakthrough, just being a
You
kid,
got this.
was made possible
Nice.
by another breakthrough. The discovery of a game-changing drug that's delaying the onset of type 1 diabetes for years to come. That's the pioneering research of Yale School of Medicine delivered through Yale New Haven Health. Together, we're powering breakthroughs with the greatest of care.
Welcome back here to University Field on the campus of Fairfield University. We're just a few moments away from the start of the second half between the Stags and the Crusaders. Fairfield with all three goals coming in quarter number 2. They're trying to pick up their first victory of the season after a tough one-goal loss to 9th-ranked Syracuse on Friday. Take a look at the upcoming schedules for both of these teams. First, going to look at Holy Cross's next handful of games. And Holy Cross are going to be at home pretty regularly over their next few. Yeah, here we go. So they're going to be, in fact, home for their next 4 and 5 of the next 6. Northeastern and Merrimack next week. And they're going to welcome in Stanford of the ACC. And then Bryant afterwards before playing their first league match of the season. That'll be on the 19th away at Lehigh. After that game, though, against Bryant, they'll only play 4 more home games for the rest of the season. Opposite side for Fairfield, as that Fairfield bench just got absolutely showered by the midfield cannon that just came onto the field. LIU will be the next home opponent on Sunday the 6th. Then their one road match in their first 7 games of the season, but I'll be up in New Haven against Yale. It'll be a Friday night fixture at Johnson Field before welcoming in Brown on the 13th. And then their first league game, that'll be against Drexel on the 18th. And apologies to our Fairfield bench that just got a brief cleanse, if you will, as that cannon absolutely got all of them off to the left as they're walking back out from the dugout onto the field. But it looks like we're just about ready to go. Some of the scores from elsewhere. By the way, JJ Duke here with you. Thanks again for spending your day here with us. Drexel, as part of a multi-team event out at the University of Maryland, they lost to Maryland 3-0 on Friday, but beat James Madison 1-0 at 11 a.m. start. Games in progress right now. Monmouth have just scored to make it a 2-1 game against the University of Delaware. Towson is trailing Davidson 1-0 in the third quarter. And then Northeastern is playing Syracuse. As Syracuse doing a New England weekend, it is the Orange 1, Huskies 0. And then the other game coming up in a few seconds, it will start. It will be Bryant against Hofstra. We're just about ready to start the third quarter of action. It'll be Fairfield to get the pushback, and they will get things going. The confirmation of that second goal, by the way, Kylie Corcoran has been officially credited with the goal. She has a goal and an assist in the first half Hoffman had the first in the 21st minute, and Camille Perlov in the 28th. There is a change in goal for Fairfield as Georgia McDade is making her first appearance in a Fairfield jersey. The sophomore from Bruton, England, who didn't see the field at all last year, but getting her first minutes in a Fairfield jersey. When I was speaking with Coach Gebhardt about the goalie room, because of course, the outstanding many-year starter in Peyton Ron graduate, albeit she is now the goalie coach. You have two different types of goalies to work with this season for Fairfield. Paige really is strong in the close-range game. We saw that on Friday, especially when Syracuse, they were pushing for a third goal. Paige came up with a couple of unreal stops, especially from close quarters and 1v1. But for Georgia, she's a good initial shot saver and then has a great knack for stopping penalty strokes. Which, again, for a goalie, you talk about in soccer from a penalty kick, it's really against the goalie. It's all on the shooter. I mean, it's even more so in hockey for the penalty stroke. It's almost all on the shooter for scoring, but if you have a goalie that can come up with a couple of really good saves, make yourself as big as possible, then, yeah, you've got something. It doesn't happen often in the run of play, but got someone that could be a game changer. But a good opportunity now for McDade to get her first minutes. A little bit of a lower pressure situation, leading by 3. Now she can basically just play freely in cage, and hopefully she'll get some action and get an early touch or two, as this will go over the baseline, and it'll be Fairfield coming out. So Fairfield will have the whole week off, just playing the one match against LIU, the very changed LIU team from one season ago that missed out on the NEC tournament. Almost a brand new roster of first-year players and a new full-time head coach. Good attack by McGuire. Sturgis plays it across. It was knocked behind by a Fairfield defender. Sturgis had the only shot for Holy Cross in that first half off of a corner, as you get a look at Georgia in between the posts. Yeah, Sturgis looked the one most bright in terms of creating for herself and creating for her team. Great tackle from Lelou and a better outlet to Huffman. Links up with another goal scorer in Perloff. Izzy McElgin wins it. If you're Holy Cross at halftime, the message had to be, don't think about the mountain that you're trying to climb, just think about getting the first. Make this a 2-goal game and plant a seed of doubt into the Fairfield defense's mind. That's a tired pass from McElgin, easily taken by Huffman. Now Camille Perloff with players ahead. It's to Fogelson. Great stick work. Pass across to Fitzgerald. Beats a defender. Stopped well. Still Fitzgerald there. And eventually cleared away. Well, McCluskey, who's credited with 3 saves in that first half, had to come out and be brave in that situation, as Fitzgerald was just about getting control of that bouncing ball. Ness that thought she earned the foot. Instead, Maggie Dowd will do enough to recover and restart it again from the back. And Fairfield all-time series lead of 19-16. I mentioned about that first ever meeting between the two teams all the way back in '83. We'll get to that in a moment as Fairfield a baseline attack here. Fogelson sends it across. That was intended for Dressel. And it's going to be a corner to come. And Fairfield will have now their 9th APC of the match. And Fairfield won that game 2-0, and Jackie Kane did send me a message during halftime just to make sure that I got it out there that she did score in that first ever meeting against Holy Cross. When you need to get a quick note of anything about Fairfield field hockey, you go to the OG GOAT. It'll be Alice Peferi to insert. Influential, of course, on both of Fairfield's APC goals. Last year, put up a big assist mark with 10 of them. 20 across her career entering today. This is towards Corcoran with a drive at the dangerous swing, blocked down. Oh, they're actually going to say it's another corner while Saskia Williams is seated on the floor. And we're going to have another team referral coming. One would have to imagine this is going to be for at a dangerous height. So it is good to see Saskia back up quickly. I believe we'll just get quick clarification from the umpires when they come up here. I believe Holy Cross, their team referring, that ball was hit to the defender above the knee, which would then be coming out. And so again, from the end of the last quarter where Holy Cross were referring ball, did it hit the player or the stick right on the line, there was not enough obvious video evidence to overturn a call, so they were able to keep that referral. So now they're using it here, and this is off of the swing that caught Saskia Williams. Is Coach Gebhardt waiting to see if she needs to dive in a little deeper into the attack penalty corner playbook. See her chatting with Danny Brown, another legend of the game for Fairfield field hockey. Okay. So it'll be coming back to Holy Cross. They're going to keep their referral, and it'll be possession out at the edge of the 16. So good referral there is Holy Cross. I guess in essence they are perfect because they've had two, but couldn't really have anything on the first. Yeah, so the effort of Saskia Williams charging out that APC is in good form. Fairfield still, though, with their 9 corners in the match, converting on 2 of them. You don't have to dive any deeper into the playbook, though. The officials were not back into their spots just yet, so now we resume play. And Fairfield, once again, continually hunting down the ball. This press has been relentless. Again, I brought up the game fitness issue. The fitness is still very much building, but game fitness is a completely different element, and it looks like the players are just thriving in this continued press effect that they've had. The legs don't look weary. An ambitious switch. It will be last off of Fitzgerald. Came off the stick of Abby Kent. An aerial that has to be dealt with. Holy Cross able to get at the edge of the 16 with Kendall Brady. Brady got tripped. Advantage being played and a corner to come. A good run from Kendall Brady. She got clipped inadvertently on the way through, got the advantage to be played. Nothing further could come of it. And for Holy Cross, who have had 1 shot in the match that came off of a corner, it was wide from McGuire Sturgis. Great opportunity for her and the rest of this attack penalty corner unit to try and chip away at the deficit. And the first action now for Georgia McDade. She'll run and set the instructions for the DPC. The Castles of Kiernan and Julia McCusker. The insert from Marissa McLean. Goes back to the insert. Well stopped by Paferi. Still on, though, for McLean. That stays on as McDade got a piece of it, but actually the ball went out of bounds. Went over the baseline. And a great read from that Fairfield defensive unit. Charging out and also keeping an eye on the insert. Again, I mentioned this in the first half where Holy Cross had so many attack corners on Friday against Stonehill. You had plenty of time for the coaching staff. Well, not literally. You had a day to figure it out to watch the video, but you pretty much got to see everything that Holy Cross had to offer on their corners. And it was well read to see that one go to the insert. As Ness will launch this down into a great area for Perloff to reach. Perloff gets by one, tries to help it back across goal, still being jousted for. Sturgis not quite clearing it away. And look at Fitzgerald winning it back, though it does go off of her last. And again, I talk about some tired passing. That was very much one from Alexa Birch. It's just the amount of energy that Holy Cross over the first 2.5 quarters that they've played in running defensively, trying to stay within their shape and structure. Now will just take a lot out of you. And when you haven't played that many matches over a season, that energy will just drop. Good work again from Bryn Andrus, stepping forward, the New Jersey native. She was one of the players that the coaching staff are really happy about the performance in preseason. And with a Fairfield team that has so much experience coming back, 18 players from that team that won the conference tournament in the NEC and won their opening round game against BU. There weren't going to be too many spots available. But if you put in the expected effort and energy and go even beyond that, place will open up for you. And we've seen a couple of first years take those chances. Great win by Lelou, and now she's in on goal. Lelou to pop it over. Oh, my. There's nifty stick work, and then there's what Riley Lelou just did. It's class from the grad student, and Fairfield lead 4-0. Well, it's fitting that she wears the number 5 on her jersey because that was very much a 5-star skill type of a move. And you deserve to enjoy that one a little bit. That is unreal. And someone screams out from the bench, "You're nasty, 5." Yeah, fair enough. So with under 6 to play, also that tally for Lelou gets her up to 16 in her career. And now match number 57. Player that was named to the Field Hockey Analyst Division I returners watch list and is very much forward. Now Fairfield again attacking here. Andrus wins the whistle. It will be a corner. Now the Stags are most certainly turning on the style points. I mean, they already turned it on with that goal. And we'll no doubt have pretty much every angle of that tally from Riley going up on socials. Fairfield now with another attack corner. This is going to be their 10th of the match. Great work by Bryn Andrus. And you never quite know what to expect from first-year players with that step up from the high school game to the college game. Understanding the role of what attacking players have to do within the system about not only just being good strikers, but also willing to put in the defensive work as well. And Bryn has done that, and another APC to come. Went Shizen to sweep, knocked down, scrambled away, and this will come down. McCluskey comes up with the save. That will be her 5th. Again, after only seeing one shot on target last game, that went past her. Mia McCluskey, player who had double-figure saves on 4 occasions last year, and actually was tested pretty often in the previous matchup between these two teams last year with 2 years ago, with 7 saves. And again, the press comes. And Andrus whistled for a foot. You'll take the energy. Now a chance here on the other end. There's players forward. This is Martina Di Gregorio, and it's cleared off the line. Diving back was Caroline Brickley, as it looked like McDade got beaten. And that's a defensive mentality right now that, well, yes, you're scoring a lot of goals one way. You got to keep the sheet clean on the other. And Caroline Brickley throwing her body on the line to make a play. Remember, this is a player that a couple of years ago was on a St. Joseph's team that got to the championship game in the NCAA tournament. So she knows what it's about to try and do whatever it takes to win a match. But now here comes Mariana McLean into the circle that goes all the way through. Corcoran, or excuse me, that was a Hadley Hoffsmith hesitating for just a moment. Back into the circle by Sturgis, well left by Dowd. Last 2 minutes or so for Holy Cross. This is the most consistent attack that we've seen from them, and possession inside the attacking 23. Again, well, yes, the highlight reel goal from Riley Lalou is that, but if you're still chasing, you can exit the quarter, get one back. You nearly just scored a moment ago. We've seen crazier things happen in this sport, and Holy Cross again send numbers ahead. That goes off the foot of Emily Carney. That ball kept on by Egan, but not linking up with Sturgis. Free hit for Hadley Hoffsmith, a player that was recruited by Coach Gebhardt, all at Penn State, and coming here after one season. Has really inserted herself onto that back line. Also is listed as a midfielder, so can do a job in 2 different lines. Has to defend here with under 100 seconds to go in the quarter. A Dowd again. Smart and simple passing after the tackling. Good stick and good win by Hoffsmith. And again, smart in that situation. Wanted to play quick, didn't have the bodies there. Reset and go again. And Fairfield will still find the pockets. That ball intended into the channel for Fogelson with under a minute to go. Now a chance laid on from Marissa McLean, but couldn't link up with her sister across the way in Mariana. This is where Fairfield, knowing that Holy Cross have been on the ascendancy over the last few minutes, safe and smart with the passing, get into the break between quarters 3 and 4. Yeah, good strength from Hoff-Smith. And Fairfield again, they'll look to break with 7 seconds to go. Quickly ahead to Perloff, can go around the corner. But it'll be a foul on Fairfield, and that does it for quarter number 3. Highlighted by a spectacular move from Riley Lalou, bouncing the ball, dribbling on her stick, and popping it over the keeper. Fairfield lead 4-0 with 1 quarter to go here on the Stag Sports Network.
In an unpredictable world where every moment matters, imagine the peace of mind that comes from knowing your loved ones, lifestyle, and business are all protected. At Meridian Risk Management, we offer tailored solutions, whether for personal, commercial, or benefits insurance. We are here to safeguard what you value most, so you can embrace every adventure ahead. Meridian Risk Management, because your legacy deserves protection.
Fourth quarter about ready to go here from Fairfield, Connecticut. Still buzzing up here in the press box, watching back the goal that Riley Lalou scored. It's already up on the Fairfield social media channels, on the Stags Field Hockey Instagram. Jack Kinney got the video of it, and it's just unreal, the skill that it takes from what Riley Lalou did, dribbling it on her stick in the air, a little pop over the goalie. And it's the worst feeling as a keeper when you come out, make yourself as big as possible, and you see a ball lifted over like that, and you know there's absolutely nothing you could do, and you hope that it hits the crossbar or goes over. Well, Lalou with the goal. Fairfield lead by 4, trying to win their first game at home of the season after suffering the 1-goal loss to Syracuse on Friday afternoon. But even with the advantage that Fairfield had, we're starting to see some press now from Holy Cross. And a team that had to put in a lot of hard work on Friday night in that come-from-behind victory against Stonehill, scoring the equalizer with under 40 seconds to play. They're starting to press because ultimately right now their job is here to finish as they mean to go on and try to take something from today that they could build into their next match, because, again, it doesn't really get easier with their non-conference schedule. The beauty of where Holy Cross is, they've got a lot of great teams in this region that they never have to really travel far to. You still have the likes of Northeastern that will come up. Stanford, that helps because I'm imagining they're playing Boston College that weekend, but you've got Providence, New Hampshire, Albany, some of the teams that they'll be facing. So trying to string together performances with a Holy Cross team that has 19 returners, but a lot of the players that returned didn't see a lot of action last year. It's building blocks right now as this ball sent across the circle. Emily Carney has it. Still goes on, gets a good shot off, saved by McCluskey. Or excuse me, that's a change. That's Madison Clark, I should say. My apologies there. Madison Clark in goal. So the senior from Walpole, Mass, who played 15 minutes in a match last year against Merrimack, makes her first save of the season. And a giveaway on the other end. Kendall Brady is attacking forward. Brady into the circle now. Shoots. Save, McDade. So both substitute goalies making their first stops of the season. First, it was Madison Clark on one end, then Georgia McDade with the save on the other. And Fairfield will break out through Caroline Brickley and have to highlight her again as well, diving and making a defensive save on the line 2/3 of the way through quarter number 3 to keep the sheet clean as Hoffman plays it ahead. Clark kicks away as Connie was trying to link up with Amanda Dressel. Yeah, that defensive save will certainly be noted, and I'd imagine for Coach Gebhardt and the rest of the staff, they're going to cut that sequence up knowing that it doesn't matter what a score line is in a game, you play the full 60 minutes with the same intensity and purpose, and that's what Fairfield did, and what for Brickley did specifically there was set those standards. This will come out back to the 23. Hoffman with a good win. Aerial from Ness, just a little bit out of the reach of Connie. Now Abby Kent. Sturgis had it, but then a foul on her. And Alice Peferi will take her time before sending it back with one assist in this game. Alice now, I believe, one assist away from tied for 5th in program history, currently on the 21. Player that has been so influential on this strong attack penalty corner unit with her insert work. Popped in for an occasional goal or two as well. Has done the job defensively as Fairfield again will work it around the back with Dowd. Good work by Fitzgerald to bump it to this near side. Brickley now on a run. Looked like she was fouled from behind. The umpire says no. Looked like there was a bit in it. It is Mariana McLean. Into the circle. And it's going to be a corner coming. Fairfield are going to ask for a referral as a couple of players are quickly going over. And when you have that quick of a run over from a few different athletes, we're all pretty. They thought that they had that one just defended well and cleanly by their stick. But again, even with this mentality here of you're leading by 4, you never stop until that final whistle. So we're going to have our third team referral of the match, the first one from Holy Cross right at the end of the second quarter. Video inconclusive, so they kept their referral. Then last quarter, Holy Cross winning one on an APC for Fairfield. And for Holy Cross, who have had a couple of corners here this afternoon, feeling right now if they have an opportunity to go and get one, might as well just take it. Let's check in on some of the games that are still going on in progress. It's a final, despite Monmouth with a late charge after knocking off Rutgers impressively by 5-1 on Friday. They lose to Delaware 2-1. Towson were down 1-0 at halftime to Davidson. Now Davidson lead 4-0 with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Northeastern giving Syracuse quite a game. It's 3-2 in favor of the Orange with still 8.5 to go up in Boston. And then Bryant and Hofstra have gotten underway on Long Island. Hofstra, they played on Friday, and they beat Ryder by 2-1. But they're losing to Bryant 1-0, 20 minutes gone in that match. Bryant actually with a 9-2 shot advantage. It's a lovely day for the fans to hang out. A good opportunity to work on the tan before, but the sun has gone behind the clouds. Again, this is currently a referral coming from Fairfield saying that there was no foot. As our two umpires continue to look at the video off to our right. And Fairfield in the midst of this 3-game homestand, which again, that will continue next Sunday against LIU in the noon hour. They'll still continue to be busy over across this next week or so before students come back, as men's soccer will play their first home match of the season. That'll be on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Women's soccer, their first Metro game of the season on Saturday next week as they take on Ryder. And then, as I mentioned, the field hockey team will play LIU before volleyball opens up their schedule a week from Thursday at home. Really good start for Nancy Samara's group. Giving it to Tennessee last night down in Knoxville in their MT. So it is an unsuccessful referral from Fairfield. Call stands, and it'll be a attack penalty corner coming for Holy Cross. So just the third time this afternoon that Fairfield's defensive penalty corner unit will don the masks and go to work. In Fairfield, some of the players are still having a conversation with one of the umpires. Still trying to get the clear explanation. This is over by the Stags' goal, but it'll be in corner now with Marissa McLean, the older of the two McLean sisters from Edinburgh, to send this in. Mariana's the one that's got over 50 caps at the youth level. Marissa has represented the team at the under-16 level. A player that's coming off of a 6-assist season from a year ago. Trying to get Holy Cross on the board here in quarter number 4. It's a short option to Kent. Sweeps it towards Cage. Player goes down, but hits a Holy Cross attacker, and it will be coming back out. So after that delay, the corner comes to nothing. Good attack from Fitzgerald on this left side to find Grace Camera. Her older brother Dom was part of the baseball team last year as a grad transfer, one of the catchers for Bill Courier's squad. Making her season debut today. After playing a couple of matches last year, as that ball sent straight out, and it will be Cortland Schumacher to send it in with 9 minutes to go. Brickley. Good win by Fogelson. That hit the body of Sturgis on the way through, so Fairfield will leave it for Brickley in attack. And quickly it goes to Fitzgerald, gets baseline. A good stand by Madison Clark, but a corner. And Clark can't quite believe it. Well, Fairfield now They're in double figures on attack penalty corners today. Get one more. Again, when these two teams met here 2 seasons ago, it was a 5-0 victory, the largest margin all time between the two programs. Today where Connie Hoffman had a goal and assist, Peferi and Lelou each had a goal. I'm trying to replicate that here. Peferi with a helper already off of one of the 2 corners that went in. We'll insert. Got Carney the short side with Corcoran and Lelou at the edge of the circle. Goes to Corcoran, who shoots. It's saved by Clark. And this is a foot on Fairfield. Madison Clark now with a couple of saves here in relief of Mia McCluskey. 7 saves between the 2 keepers thus far. Fairfield with a 18-5 shot advantage, 11 shots on target for the Stags as well. They're doing what they need to do offensively here today. After a Friday where they only had a handful of shots on frame, it was Catherine Fitzgerald. I thought for a second she was grabbing her knee, but it seems to be okay. Advantage being played. Swept into the circle, but dangerous, and it will be back over to Holy Cross. It really looked like there for a second that Fitzgerald, who you can see on in the middle of your picture, still kind of walking a little gingerly. Not quite sure if the Fairfield staff have seen that just quite yet. Well, that's a dangerous aerial. It almost hit Catherine. That ball trapped in the corner, but it'll be coming to Fairfield. And Fitzgerald's going to come off. And again, she hasn't looked right since that little trip that she had. And I think with 7 minutes ago, no reason to have her go any further. Have a full week off before the next match on Sunday. Turnover from Fairfield will allow Holy Cross a free hit inside the 23. McLean into the circle, knocked down. Dowd, though, absorbed the foul. Will get a free hit. Again, another very solid day for her. You're saying her name, but only for the correct reasons defensively. No miscues out of the back. Being smart with her passing and winning a couple of fouls and even starting an attack or 2. Kendall Brady had that knocked off of her stick. It will stay with the Crusaders. I feel like the energy from this game starting to get zapped a little bit, with only this being the second competitive game for both teams this season, both having a couple of exhibitions and scrimmages before the season started. With match fitness still being built. And also some players getting their first minutes, like Maddie Harrington for the first time seeing some action, the former Merrimack player. Trying to find the connection between the 3 lines. Good win by Corcoran, who's had a very fine game today. Obviously with a goal in there, of course, and an assist. She'll exit, and that's probably going to be her last action with 5 minutes to go. It's good to see that the Fairfield coaching staff are getting a lot of new bodies in. Also see Rory Saxon in for the first time as Connie Hoffman now on a bit of a run. Andrus attacking. Gets tackled well as McLean trying to go through Bryn Andrus, and she does win the whistle. We also get to see the debut of KK Dooley in a moment. The first year from St. Louis. A couple of players on this roster from the Midwest. Katie Crane hailing from Oklahoma, and of course Paige Jackson, the starting goalie, so hailing from St. Louis. I'm loving to see that everybody's getting a little bit of a run out here. And you get to showcase your abilities in game situation, maybe for some trying to prove a point to get a few more minutes going forward. Harrington, who was a regular starter last season for Merrimack, logged almost 1,000 minutes across the season for the Warriors. And even in this now, in the 57th minute of the match, you see Fairfield players continually asking to get forward. Well won by Wenchisen to the press of Alexa Clark. Andrus trying to get the whistle, which she does. Changes will come for Fairfield. This is to Harrington, but it hit her foot on the edge of the circle. So Dooley in the back was named to the Field Hockey Analysts D1 Rookie Watch List prior to this season. Great win by Wenchisen. And some of that starred last year in kind of a reserve role at that right back area. Great run from Mariana McLean. Forward now with Kendall Brady as Holy Cross continue to search for their opener. Sent forward, McDade with the save. Stop Sturgis. So as Paige Jackson didn't have to do anything in the first 30 minutes. McDade has been called on to make a couple of stops here in relief work. Dooley winning a whistle. It's a good spin from Katie Crane wearing the 15 jersey. Really was able to combine with Perloff. Kent losing it out. And very much in a match that was determined in the second quarter for Fairfield, where they struck for three in really what was a 7-minute spell of action. 2 goals off corners, one from Hoffman, one from Corcoran, a counter press goal. Camille Perloff tapped in off the work of Kaylin Fogelson, and then Lelou with, of course, that outstanding individual effort. As we enter the 60th minute for Fairfield, just the one final box that they want to check off, which is a clean sheet at home. That ball sent across the way. That was looking for Clark. Certainly more than enough things that you can take from in a positive on this day and really as a whole on the weekend for Coach Gebhardt and her staff. Told me before the season that this is still very much an evaluation part of the year where you're trying to figure out which players work best in the system, still trying to get everybody's legs under them. But there's a lot of good things to take away, and you can use this week now as another building week. It's kind of strange the amount of time that this team has had with no classes. You have more time than usual to work on these things, but hey, you take the positives. Oh, wow, that was a classy finish. It had to be said on the deflection from Perloff. It didn't count because 5 wasn't taken. Nonetheless, Fairfield pick up their first victory of the season with a shutout victory over Holy Cross. And Stags now extend their winning streak over the Crusaders to 6 straight, lasting a decade. And Fairfield will finish up this first part of their extended home start, playing their first 6 of 7 here at University Field. That will wrap up their first 3 on Sunday against LIU. That will be set for a noon start. Hope that you can join us for it. Meanwhile, Holy Cross will go back home up to Worcester They will be taking on Northeastern and Merrimack. That game against Northeastern will be at 6 p.m. and Merrimack at noon. For our entire crew, I'm JJ Duke saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Fairfield pick up their first win of 2026, a 4-0 victory over Holy Cross.